welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to do 10 examples of converting percentages to fractions. If a percentage is a whole number, like 15%, then we can just put it over 100 and simplify, and that is our fraction. Firstly, I want to go through all of these questions, and I'm just going to ignore the decimal part of them. So if we had 9%, that would become 9 over 100. That's how easy it is. If we had 85%, that would become 85 over 100, and we would simplify it to be 17 over 20 by dividing top and bottom by 5. If we had 88%, that would become 88 over 100, which would simplify to 44 over 50. If we had 99%, that would become 99 over 100, which we cannot simplify. If we had 8%, that would become 8 over 100, which would simplify to 4 over 50, and then to 2 over 25. If we had 72%, that becomes 72 over 100, which would simplify, if we divide by 4 on top and bottom, to 18 over 25. Now, I already did 8%, so I'll skip that. If we had 55%, that becomes 55 over 100, which we can simplify to 11 over 20 by dividing top and bottom by 5. If we had 7%, that would become 7 over 100, and that's our answer. And if we had 41%, just as easily, it becomes 41 over 100. All right, that was a whirlwind. All of these examples are examples where the percentage is not a whole number, and therefore it's a little bit more work. I hope that this is helpful to you, and I hope that you understand that if your percentage is a whole number, it's just the same process, but is going to involve a little less work. So let me make my face a little bit smaller. 9.256% will become 9.256 over 100. We need to move this decimal out of the number 9.256. And we're going to do that by multiplying by 1,000, which is going to move the decimal point 3 places to the right, and will leave us with 9,256 on top. And that means our denominator is actually going to be 1,000 times 1,000, which is 1 million. Now we have to simplify. I'm going to simplify by dividing by 4. So let's see, 4 goes into 9, 2, 5, 6, 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, 4. So we get 2,314 over, and then 1 million divided by 4 is 250,000. We can still halve this again, so let's see, we're going to get 1,157 over 125,000. And that is our final answer because we cannot simplify that fraction any further. For the number 85.774, this becomes the fraction 85.774 over 100. Oh, I forgot that should have had a percent sign there. So the percentage 85.774 becomes the fraction 85.774 over 100. To turn the numerator into a whole number, I'm going to multiply by 1,000 to move the decimal point 3 places to the right. And so we're going to get 85774 over 100,000. We can now divide numerator and denominator by 2. So our denominator becomes 5,000. Let's think about the numerator. Let's just use an algorithm so we don't have to think. If you can do this in your head, try it now and see if you get the same answer as me. All right, I hope you got 42,887. There is no longer a common factor between our numerator and our denominator, other than 1, and so we have our final answer. 88.3995% is going to become 88.3995 over 100. Now we're going to have to multiply by 10,000 to move the decimal point 4 places to the right. That means we're going to get 883995 over 1 million. That's what we get when we multiply the numerator by 10,000 and when we multiply the denominator by 10,000. Now I can see that we can divide this numerator by 5. So let's do that here. I like to use my algorithm because it makes it easy. I don't have to think very hard. 5 goes into 8 once with a remainder of 3. 5 goes into 38 7 times with a remainder of 3. 33 6 times with a remainder of 3. 39 7 times with a remainder of 4. 49 9 times with a remainder of 4. And 45 5 times. So we're going to have 176,795 over 200,000, which is 1 million divided by 5. My goodness. Now again, we have a number which we can divide by 5. All right, let's do it. Five goes into 1 0 times, 17 3 times with a remainder of 2, 26 5 times with a remainder of 1, 17 3 times with a remainder of 2, 29 5 times with a remainder of 4, and 45 9 times. And so this becomes 35,359 over, and then 20,000 divided by 5 is 200,000 divided by 5 is 40,000. There's no longer a common factor, and so we have our final answer. 99.12% is equal to 99.12 out of 100. To turn the numerator into a whole number, we have to multiply by 100, and so we're going to get 9,912 over 10,000. We can simplify this by dividing by 2. Let's see. We're going to get 4, 9, 5, 6 over 5,000. Let me make a little more space below for us because we can simplify by dividing by 2 again, and that's going to give us 2, 4, 7, 8 over 2,500. We can divide by 2 again, which will give us 1,239 over 1,250. And that will be our final answer. So we get 1,239 over 1,250. And what we can see here is that our fraction gives us a value where the numerator is almost as big as the denominator. And that's because the number we started with was almost 100%. 8.40% can be written a little bit more simply as 8.4%, which means it will be 8.4 over 100. To turn this numerator into a whole number, we can just multiply by 10, which means we will get 84 over 1,000. And then we can simplify by dividing by, we could do 2, but in this case, I think 4 will be better. If we divide 84 by 4, we get 21. And if we divide 1,000 by 4, we get 250. And so we get that 8.4% is equal to 21/250. 72.9852% becomes 72.9852 over 100. Now we're going to have to multiply to move the decimal place 4 positions, which means we need to multiply by 10,000, which is a 1 followed by 4 zeros. So we will get 729,852 over 1 million, which is 100 times 10,000. All right. Now let's simplify our fraction. So I'm going to divide by 4. So 1 million divided by 4 is going to be 250,000. And then let's do the numerator. 4 into 729,852 will be 13821426113. Okay, 182463. There are no more common factors. And so that means that we are now finished. So our final answer will be that this is equal to 182,463 over 250,000. 8.78% is equal to 8.78 out of 100. So let's simplify. First, we need to move the decimal place out of this number. So we're going to multiply by 100, which will give us 878 over 10,000. Now, dividing by 2, we're going to get 439 over 5,000, and that's as far as we can go. So we are finished for that question. 55.54% is equal to 55.54 out of 100. Just like the last question, we need to multiply by 100 to move the decimal place out of the way. So we're going to get 5,554 over 10,000. Now let's divide by 2. Let me think about this. I think I'm going to use my algorithm. Maybe you can try and do it in your head and see if you can get the same answer. 2171717. So we get 2,777 over, and then half of 10,000 is 5,000. And that's as far as we can go in this question. So we have our final answer of 2,777 over 5,000. 7.4518% will be 7.4518 out of 100. To move that decimal places 4 spots out of the way, that means we're going to need to multiply by 10,000. So we're going to get 74518 over 1 million. Now we can divide by 2. That's going to give us 37259 over 500,000, and that's as far as we can go. We're done. Last one, 41.722% becomes 41.722 over 100. Okay, so this means that we need to multiply by 1,000 to get the decimal point out of the way. We get 41,722 over 100,000. If we divide this by 2, we're going to get 20861 over 50,000. Now, I may have made a mistake doing that division by 2 in my head, but if you understand the working and you can find an error, then you have the correct answer and you know that you're smarter than I am. All right, and this is our final answer, which is 20,861 over 50,000. Okay. Now, the last thing that I want to explain is a bit of a hack that will make it easier for you to know when you're done simplifying. Because we always start with a denominator of 100. And then if we have decimals in the numerator, we're multiplying by some power of 10, like 10 or 100 or 1000 or 10,000, etc. There is a consequence of this, and I'm not going to explain all of the reasons yet, but this means that the denominator can only be divided by 2 or 5 or some product of 2 and 5, like 2 times 2 is 4 or 5 times 5 is 25. So when you're simplifying, if you get to a step where you cannot divide the numerator by 2 and you cannot divide it by 5, then you know that you have gotten your fraction to its most simplified form, and you don't have to worry about checking if you can divide by 3 or 7 or 23. It's never going to be the case. All right. Well, I hope that this video was helpful to you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.